The Democratic Party had a huge night on Tuesday. They completed a clean sweep of every major race, clean sweep in Virginia, governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general. Zoran Mamdani won the New York City mayor's race, and Mikey Sherill took New Jersey. Now, this was their first really big election year since 2020, when Biden won the presidency. They took the House and the Senate. Why was this? So I kind of think that there are two key factors here that they hit on. The first is affordability. They talked the crap out of this. Now, Republicans tried to hit this message in 2022 when gas prices and inflation were at an all-time high. And they tried to hit that message. And the red wave kind of turned into a red trickle. The Democrats hit it well. Here's a clip of Abigail Spanberger talking about how Virginia is affordable.
Possible. And we want a governor who recognizes that things are getting harder and harder. And we need someone focused on lowering costs in housing and healthcare and energy.
Now, this was a main theme of Spanberger's campaign right here. What she did was continue to hit affordability. She also talked a lot about education and protecting Virginian jobs and the economy out there in Virginia. And that was really key to her success. And she won by 13 points in the end over Winsome Earl Sears. A huge margin in a state that Harris only won by 6. The other guy that really hammered home on affordability, Zoran Mamdani. He talked about rent freezes. He talked about making buses free. In his closing campaign speech, this is what he talked about. Here's a clip.
Third, a campaign that looks to transform the most expensive city in the United States of America into one that's affordable for each and every person that calls it home.
Mamdani's campaign was fully centered around affordability. He won. That's 2-0 for the Democrats. Now, the second thing that was really used was hammering Donald Trump. Donald Trump is an unpopular president. He is the most unpopular president 1 year into their first term since 2017, Donald Trump. His approval rating sits at 37%. Mikey Sherill, who frequently sparred with Trump, has really loathed him, campaigned against him in 2018, was very adamant in 2020. She was one of the leaders against the election denial claims that he was making that were untrue. And here's a clip of her talking about Trump.
We know that this nation has not ever been, nor will it ever be, ruled by kings.
Yeah, and she led her campaign around this. She tied her opponent, Jack Ciattarelli, to Trump. She blew out Jack Ciattarelli. I projected that race at a 2-point gap. The polls had it at maybe 3 or 4. She blew out Jack Ciattarelli by double digits. Ciattarelli held Phil Murphy to a 3-point gap in 2021. He was not a bad candidate, but she hammered him. She tied him to Trump. She tied him to the shutdown, and she really made that point stick. And Spanberger loved to hammer Trump. I talked about this in my preview videos. Her and Sherill despise Trump with a burning passion, and they use it. This was Spanberger in her victory speech talking about Donald Trump.
And to those across the Potomac who are attacking our jobs and our economy, I will not stand by silently while you attack Virginia's workers. I call on Congress, Republicans and Democrats, and our president to make real progress on bringing this shutdown to an end.
So it was less this year of what went wrong for Republicans and more to what did Democrats do right? Affordability, hammering Donald Trump. It's been FNM, where we get facts, not nonsense. Thanks for watching.